Knock, knock, knock.
Come in.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm Angela, student nurse from PRCC. I'm here to do a quick physical assessment on your baby just to make sure he's doing okay.
Okay.
Is that all right? Okay, great. Before we get started, I'm just going to check a couple things.
Okay.
I'm going to wash my hands here. I'm going to close this door for privacy. All right, I'm going to check the floor and make sure there's nothing to trip over.
Okay.
All right, everything looks to be intact. Do you mind if I take your...
Yes.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do my two identifiers. So I'm checking the MAR as one identifier, and then I'm gonna check his wristband on his foot as the other identifier. And the name is correct, Little John John, and the birthday is 2/3/24. So everything is intact there. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and start my assessment. First, we're gonna check apical pulse and respirations. Just gonna put these on. Okay, I'm checking apical pulse. Normal is between 110 and 160, and his is at 140, and I checked it for a full minute. Also gonna check respirations. Normal is between 40 and 60, and his is at 45, and I checked that for a full minute as well. I'm also gonna go ahead and get his temperature using I'm gonna get an auxiliary temperature. All right, and it was at 98.9, so that is within normal limits as well. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start the head-to-toe assessment. First, we're gonna check the fontanelles. All right, the interior, we gotta make sure there's no bulging. For intracranial pressure, it is nice and soft, so that's within normal limits. Posterior is also within normal limits. All right, I'm checking skin on the head. It is nice and dry and warm to the touch. Okay, and skin color just within normal limits for the race. All right, looks like the face is symmetrical. Okay. I'm going to the ears are symmetrical with the eyes on both sides. I'm gonna go ahead and check the eyes. There's no drainage coming out. They're not red or pink. There's no signs of jaundice. All right. I'm also gonna go ahead and check the reflex. I think it's called Goodell's reflex. And I just tapped the eye and he did blink. So that reflex is intact. All right, I'm gonna go down here to the nose, looking for any kind of discharge. I don't see any. All right, we're gonna come down to the mouth here, and we're also gonna check another reflex. We're going to check the rooting reflex. I'm sorry, I'm coming in from the cheek, and you're gonna see if he wants to like suck my finger as you would a nipple, and he does, so that reflex is great. All right, we're looking at cheeks here. We're looking at neck. All right, skin, no lumps, bumps, or bruises. Skin is nice and warm and dry. And like I said, the color is within normal limits as well. On his nose, if you go back here, there are no little bumps that are noted. Is there anything else I need to check on his nose? It's called milia. I'm sorry, I can't really pronounce it, but there's no little bumps. All right, now we're moving down to skin turgor. So I'm gonna check his chest first. All right, and it's within 3 seconds. I'm gonna go down to his belly and pinch his skin as well. That's within 3 seconds, and I'm gonna turn him over just a little bit so I can check his bottom. Now pinching is within 3 seconds as well. So skin turgor is good in all 3 places. All right, we're looking at arms now. So when I touch skin, it's nice and warm and dry. Colors, again, within normal limits. All right, there doesn't seem to be any broken bones. Nothing is out of place. Okay. So we're gonna come down here to the belly and look at, I'm sorry, before we go to the belly, we're gonna check the palmar grasp reflex. So I'm gonna put my finger within his palm and see if he grasps. He does, okay, and he has 5 fingers on each arm. All right, and now we're gonna go down and check his cord, actually, before I check his stomach. The cord is nice and it's not wet, it's nice and dry here. All right, now I'm gonna check his belly. It's not distended, it's nice and soft. There's no tenderness when I touch. Has he had a bowel movement today that you know of, Mom?
He has.
Okay, great. All right, we're gonna come down and check his hips. So I'm gonna put my fingers where the femur connects with the hip and make sure the hip is in the socket. I'm gonna do that on both sides. All right, the hip is in the socket, so that's great. All right, now we're gonna come down and look at his legs. All right, I'm gonna lay him down on this soft surface. Okay, all right, I'm looking at his legs. I don't see any lesions, bumps, or bruises. The skin It's nice and warm to the touch. All right, so that's great. Oh, it's also dry as well. Okay, we're gonna come down here to the feet and we're gonna do a couple of reflexes. So we got the Bavinsky reflex, and I'm just gonna rub his toes and they flared out. I did it on both sides. And then we're gonna check the plantar reflex, and his feet did curl in. So both of those reflexes are checked, and that would be my 5th reflex. All right, now we're gonna check inside the diaper. All right, we're just looking at the skin here. There's no lesions, bumps, or bruises that I see. This is a male, so the testicles are distended because it is warm. All right, and mom did say he had a bowel movement today, so the anal is patent. They have a patent anus. There's no Mongolian spots that I've noted on the bottom area. All right. Now we're gonna do our last reflex check. It's a stepping reflex. So I'm just gonna sit him up a little bit, and he's dancing for me. So we've got the stepping reflex. He is good to go. All right. And I'm gonna wrap him back up. And I'm gonna give him to mama, and that's gonna conclude our physical assessment for little John John.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So